Konbanwa. O genki desu ka? Genki desu. Good evening. It's past 6 p.m. Konbanwa will work as a greeting. O genki desu ka? How are you? Genki desu. I'm fine. So I thought it was important to answer early on in the development of the channel, why am I learning Japanese and how am I going to go about it? So I prepared this deck and got some kanji in the top, some hiragana. We won't go into that. We got some pictures at the bottom that I took on my trips to Japan. That is not Mount Fuji in the middle. That's Yote. That's up on Hokkaido Island. Lori and I were up there at Lake Toya. It was a beautiful day. Had a great opportunity to take that picture. But as how I'm going about it, I'm focused on minor incremental improvements without rushing the outcome. I am not trying to get a job in Japan. I don't feel any pressure. I'm really doing this for personal development, personal enjoyment, but most of all, I plan to continue to travel to Japan, and I want to be respectful of the Japanese people, and we'll get into that. This slide kind of refers to when I tried to learn Japanese last time. I set this goal of fluency, not knowing how difficult the Japanese language was and how much effort it was going to take to learn Japanese and get to a fluent level. And I felt overwhelmed. The daily grind of studying became painful. This time around, I'm taking a different approach. My goal is not to be fluent. My goal is to learn basic Japanese that I might use in everyday travels within Japan. And what I'm focused on now is really developing a good learning process that I can fall in love with and enjoy the process of study, rather than trying to become identified as being fluent in Japanese. And the other thing I do is I treat each study session as an end in of itself. And by that I mean this morning I spent several hours learning Japanese. I learned some new things, some new phrases, some new pronunciation, and then my learning time ended. I made progress. Tomorrow is a new day. I'll make progress that will add to the progress that I made today. And that's how I'm going to approach it. Just completing a study session is, I've met a goal that makes me feel good and makes me want to continue. Why am I learning Japanese? In a nutshell, respect. That is the overlying reason. In Japanese culture, there's this concept of meiwaku, meiwaku. See? The other thing about these videos is I'm trying to speak Japanese. It gives me an opportunity to refine my pronunciation. But meiwaku is this concept of not being bothersome or creating inconveniences for other people. Lori and I did 30 days in April, this past April. And what I found in my daily travels, when I encountered people that did not speak English, since I did not speak Japanese, I created confusion for them. I created an inconvenience for them because really what they wanted to do was be responsive to my requests. But since I couldn't communicate to them what my request was, they couldn't then fulfill their goal of fulfilling my request. So anyway, the more Japanese that I learn, I can be more helpful to those Japanese that are not English speakers, and thus reduce the amount of inconvenience that I'm causing for them accordingly. So that's the main thing. Why am I learning is also because of personal challenge and fun. Uh, I enjoy challenges. Japanese is challenging, if not one of the most challenging languages to learn. I enjoy the whole process of finding out how can I successfully self-study, what tools are out there, how can I leverage those tools and everything. So that is fun. And then when I do use them, getting results by using them, that's fun. So really my whole life has been a journey to learn as if my life depended upon it. Um, you know, I not force myself. See, I don't force myself to learn. When I have a good learning experience and I have some success where I have set a reasonable goal and I obtain that goal, that's a lot of fun. And then that opens the door for me to try the next challenge and then the next challenge. So, I just have a lot of fun learning. It's if I learned something I didn't know yesterday and now I know it, that's enjoyable to me. Those are mini accomplishments that expands my view of the world around me, and that's a lot of fun. Also, I take these challenges because I want to keep my brain fit. I'm 72. Age-related decline is a reality. Learning Japanese is like taking my brain to the gym every day. It's mentally exercising my cognitive reserve capabilities. It's kanji, the characters, the radicals, the strokes that build the kanji, that exercises my visual cortex and spatial reasoning centers of my brain. So there's a lot going on there that helps to keep my brain fit. Also, when I learn about these concepts of not being bothersome to people, not creating inconveniences for people, or omoyari, which I believe is empathy, having empathy for others. I'm learning new way to process human relationships. I'm getting insight into how the Japanese do it, and I find that fascinating that they have agreed to do things a certain way because they believe that that is the right way for them to do it. And, in part, that's why I think Japan is so clean, because you don't throw your trash on the ground like often happens here where I live in the United States of America, because by doing that, then somebody else has to pick it up, and therefore you've created an inconvenience. So I just, many things about Japanese social values are very interesting to me. And finally, my learning goals, short term, next 90 days. I mentioned I'm going to a 10-week language school in October in Tokyo. And at a minimum, I have to be able to demonstrate proficiency in reading and writing hiragana and katakana, the two of the three Japanese writing systems. I'm doing good on that. Hiragana, I'm further along. Katakana is coming along quickly. My handwriting, the characters need some work, but I'll continue to polish that up over the next 90 days. And then in both these textbooks that I have available to me, which I will mention in the next slide, I'm starting to see kanji appear. So I'm working on learning some of the basic, most common used kanji to support reading the textbooks that are in Japanese. But in general, I'm focused on pronunciation, always trying to improve my pronunciation. And pronunciation also includes timing on syllables and pausing when you're supposed to, and those type of things. Building my vocabulary, understanding the grammatical rules of the Japanese language, of which there are many, and then also meaning, which is where kanji comes in again, because you can have words written, let's say in hiragana, let's say hashi, like, which is chopsticks, but hashi could also mean bridge, and kanji can provide clarity to the meaning of the word, and those type of things. But overall, I want to just continue to build my foundation in the Japanese language that will enable me to continue to build upon that foundation. It's pretty straightforward. So, and then this page here is just lays out, I have two books. One is the Genki 1 workbook, and the other one is the Dekiru Nihongo, which will be the textbook used in the 10-week class that I'll be going to. And I just kind of laid out the differences so I can see the comparison. I also asked XAI Grok to confirm these, my thoughts on the differences between the two books. And so this is what I found. And again, when I meet with my tutor on Thursday, it'll be the first meeting. We'll discuss on what we're going to use as far as textbook goes to facilitate her and I working together. And, you know, it'll be one of these two books. I'd probably prefer Genki series of books because there's associated tools available on the Genki site, like flashcards and all those things, where I've not found that yet for the Dekiru Nihongo book. So, but she's an experienced sensei, and she'll give me her input and her thoughts on what is our best approach, which could be a custom design format. So we'll just see. All right, so I just wanted to kind of share why am I learning Japanese and how am I going about learning it. And if I were to summarize it, I'm learning Japanese because I'm going to travel in Japan some more. And out of respect for the Japanese people, I want to improve my Japanese language skills so I do not create inconveniences for them when I'm trying to communicate with them. And my approach is, maybe you call it laid back, but I'm looking for small wins. And small wins that I can build upon each other and continue to build upon that. Again, I don't feel like I'm under any pressure. I'm doing this for personal enjoyment. I don't have to do this. It's not because I have a job and it's a requirement that I learn how to speak Japanese. I'm really doing it for the reasons it's fun, takes my brain to the gym essentially, and it's going to enable me to be more respectful to the Japanese people when I encounter them in my future travels in Japan. So, all right, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Your comments are welcome. We could say sayonara, we could even say bye-bye, but I will say dewa, ja, mata. Well then, see you later. Thanks for dropping in.